Alright, hi guys, welcome to week 3 of our Treasures of the Attic series. This week I'm actually going to show you guys one of the things that I think is one of the most interesting things in our collection. Very few people actually know what it is when I show it to them, and are always very surprised when I tell them what it is. So this is a morning hair wreath. Now when I say morning, I don't mean good morning, I mean as in mourning someone who has passed away. In the late 1800s, it was very common for people to save locks of hair of their loved ones, and they would make either hair jewelry or a morning hair wreath like this one right here. And they would have wires, and they would fasten the hair, either sewing or wrapping it around to form these flower and leaf shapes right here. Now, while saving people's locks of hair who'd passed away was a common practice for hundreds of years, it wasn't really until the Victorian era where it really became a form of art. And that was partly because of Queen Victoria. We talked a little bit about her last week when her husband passed away. She entered a period of mourning that lasted the rest of her life for another 40 years over the death of her husband. And because of this, it kind of kicked off this culture of mourning on both sides of the Atlantic and lasted until about the early 20th century. Using hair for jewelry and hair wreaths was actually very common, so much so that you could buy hair jewelry in the Sears Roebuck catalog in 1900, and they even sold hair receivers. So it was a place to save family members' hair who had passed away until you accumulate enough to make a hair wreath. Hair wreaths could be made from either just one person, or they could be multiple family members' hair. This hair wreath right here would be multiple family members' hair. If you come and look, we have some blonde hair here, there's some brown, more blonde, a little bit more brown down here, once again some blonde and brown. When they fashioned the plaque right down here at the bottom, it should be up here. The hair wreath, when is being displayed, the opening should be towards the top, and the thinking was because the person who had just most recently passed, their hair would be at the center, and it would be because their soul would be ascending to heaven. We unfortunately do not know much about this particular hair wreath. The donor who donated it, she also had it gifted to herself. Not all hair wreaths would be for mourning. Sometimes schools and church congregations would get members of their churches and schools' hair, and they would make a hair wreath to symbolize all of them. But hair was a really great remembrance to the people who had passed away before them. As you can see, hair color lasts decades, even centuries later. In an art guidebook from 1867 that talks about how to fashion the hair jewelry or the hair wreaths, the author wrote, persons wishing to preserve and weave into lasting mementos the hair of deceased father, mother, sister, brother, or child can also enjoy the inexpressible advantage and satisfaction of knowing that the material of their handiwork is actual hair of the loved and gone. So that's it for week 3, guys. I hope you come back for week 4 to see what other treasures of the attic we have. Thanks.